In this video, I'm going to show you the location of the Misplaced Gopher in Grocer's barn. Then I'm going to give you all my best advice on how to carry him home safely. This is one of the easier gophers to find, so if you already know where he is, please feel free to click the link and skip the beginning of this video, and we'll get straight to how you take him home. There's nothing particularly special about the beginning of the level, but I'll try and talk you through it anyway. So for this part you need to grab an acorn, throw it into the controller, then you need to stand on one side of the catapult and fire the acorn at the other end of the catapult. Here you need to do the same thing, pick up an acorn, throw it into the controller, then you need to fire it over here to clear the boxes off the catapult so you can stand on it. Get another acorn, throw it back into the controller, and use the catapult, the same way as the first one. Over here, they've made it slightly so it can catch you out. You need to hit the target on the duck first, then you can use the catapult. If you don't, you'll fall down the gap. Worth noting the sneaky confetti in the tunnel. I missed that for quite a while. Then you need to use the touchpad to keep bouncing the cabbages up so the bridge will raise. Then you can walk across it safely. I always feel a little bit cruel doing this bit. You need to pick up a gopher, and then you can use a gopher instead of the acorn to activate the catapult. It always feels like animal cruelty. I don't really like it. This is pretty straightforward. Just need to use a guiding light. You can either throw the scraps off the edge like that, or you can drag them over to the square in the centre. If you hold the touchpad down, it'll open the door and they'll fall through. So here you've got to throw the Squirrel King into the controller. Pretty much the same idea as you were doing before. You can now shoot acorns with them in the controller. So anything with a target on it, you need to hurl an acorn at. If at any point you're going too fast down the track and you want to slow yourself down, you can throw acorns onto the track and that'll slow you down. Here you need to use the drum skin to make the gap. That will raise the track up. That's another bit of sneaky confetti that catches a lot of people out. If you're just doing a speed run of this part, you only need to hit the first duck and then the duck and the target on the second row, and you just roll straight off to the right. If you were going for the present, you'd go the other way. On this part you need to throw something through the wall so you can go outside. If you use the squirrel rather than the acorn, then you can use the squirrel in the next fight, which is quite helpful. So when you go to the top of this bridge, there are going to be scraps on stilts. If you pick up the squirrel, you can hurl him into the first scrap. Sometimes the squirrels will help you in fights as well. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. So it's always handy to have that option. I've taken him out with the squirrel. Now if you use the guiding light and shine it on the scraps, it will put them into a frenzy, and they won't be able to attack you while you put the light on them, so then you can just roll into their legs, pick up one of them and throw it into the other. You're fairly safe if you do it that way. And then the gopher's just across this bridge. So here, you don't want to go in and pick the gopher straight up. The reason for that is you've got 2 fights with scraps coming up. If you haven't picked the gopher up and you die, then it doesn't count as losing your stamp. You can just die as many times as you need to, then go back and pick the gopher up. So instead of picking the gopher up, pick the squirrel up instead, and the squirrel will help you in the fight. Once you get in there, you want to drop him just in front of your feet, and that'll be the best place for him to start attacking the scraps. You want to use your guiding light and get as many of the scraps to fall off the edge as possible. You can see there, because I made myself into the ball, the squirrel actually threw me into the scrap and killed the scrap by throwing me, which was pretty cool. Then the second fight is above here. To get the squirrel through the gap, you need to pick him up and throw him into the controller, and then you'll be able to roll through the gap. Once you're in there, the best plan is to throw the squirrel straight at the middle scrap on stilts. Then use your guiding light to blind the one on the right. Once you've knocked him over, you can pick him up and throw him straight into the one on the left if the squirrel doesn't kill him first. If not, just go ahead and kill him like normal. Now you can go back to where you were and pick up the gopher. It's not too far to backtrack. Take your time with these jumps, it's really annoying when you fall right here. This is the same idea again, you use the acorn to knock the boxes over. At this point you do need to put the gopher down, because in the next part you can knock him off the edge with these cabbages. So the idea here again is to another catapult. You need to use the touchpad as a button to bounce the drum skin. That will push the cabbages over to the catapult. Then you hit the target on the catapult and it flings the cabbages over to the basket on the left. It might take you a couple of attempts to do this. Sometimes you can do it first time, but not very often. Then when the gate's lifted, you should be safe to go back and pick up the gopher again. probably the most difficult bit of the level coming up here. In a moment you can turn right to get a couple of presents in a couple of places. I suggest you don't get the presents on a Gopher run, leave it for another run through because it just makes it too difficult. Don't need to jump here, do need to jump here, don't turn right here. This next bit's all about timing. I like to run away from the first lever on the conveyor belt because that keeps you stationary, wait for it to go down, then run past the first two, do the same thing, wait and then run past the second two. Similar thing here, but I like to wait in front of each lever individually here. The timing is different and they don't work in pairs, they're a little bit faster here. Then the conveyor belt is going to carry you to the right. You're going to need to jump left a little bit to get onto the bounce pads. And then you're home! Hooray! Feels so good to have that done. It's really quite a hectic Gopher run, that one. Best of luck with your run.